BettingEdge.com presents Jason Allison.
Bet on every EFC bout with BetExchange.com. Betting made easily. Now returning to EFC after a long time is the 30-year-old Warren Allison out of Bloemfontein, and currently finds himself on the big stage yet again, Dirk.
He made his debut all the way back at EFC3 against Gareth McFadden. Lost the first round armbar, then John Liver EFC6, where he's already started training with Chris Bright. He's really improved his game, but John Liver managed to guillotine him early. I think it was 49 or 50 odd seconds of that first round. Then he's gone away and he's managed to get 2 wins under his belt against Gavin Green and Mabandi Bobby. Most guys that were cut by the organisation of not performing here, so at least he's managed to get a couple of wins, get his confidence up. But in terms of his actual competing in grappling competitions, he competed in one a couple of months ago where he beat really good guys, really proficient grapplers. So there's no doubt that he's got a hell of a lot better with his jiu-jitsu game. But again, this is mixed martial arts. This is the big thing, is how you can basically use that as well as all the other skills that you have in mixed martial arts to be able to really compete on this stage. It doesn't have to just be really good at one thing. You need to be really good at many different things.
Yeah, his last fight at EFC, December 2nd, 2010 against Johan Liber. And before that, as you said, Dirk, EFC 03, that was the 8th of May 2010 against Gareth McFadden. So Warren Allison has a point to prove here. Has he improved? Is he good enough for the organization? We know that in terms of his Brazilian jiu-jitsu skills, it's next level, there's no doubt. But it's taking that step up now and actually turning these performances into W's. That's what counts at EFC at this stage.
You also see with a lot of these competitors, they go away, they sort of reinvent themselves in many ways, and they come back here. And again, now there's even more pressure on them than there was before, because now they're expected to do well. They've had they're getting their second chance, and this is really a stage where they want to perform, where they want to get their hands raised, especially for someone like Warren Allison, who's certainly got the right sort of skill set, but he hasn't managed to put it all together inside the hexagon.
It's quite interesting. Based in Bloemfontein, he has part of his camp in Bloem, and then flies down to Port Elizabeth for part of his camp. So isn't that quite sort of disruptive? What's your thoughts on that in terms of splitting up your camp like that?
It all depends what sort of sparring partners he's got and where he's as a co-owner at a fight gym in Bloemfontein, and it all depends what sort of sparring partners he's got there. I always think it's better to be training and sparring with as many guys as possible, but then again, it always depends on the athlete, on the individual athlete. Some guys really want to have tons and tons of sparring partners, and some guys really have their best camps with 4 or 5 close guys that are sort of on the same level, and they can work and improve on the same thing. So it really depends on the person, but he says it works for him, he believes it works for him, and he's comfortable with that. So
Warren Allison in the hexagon at EFC31, a long-awaited comeback for the man from Bloemfontein. His opponent tonight, fighting out of North Beach in Durban, is the 26-year-old Jason Calderwell, and he is the new improved Jason Calderwell. The last time out against Wade Henderson, he essentially retired Wade Henderson with his efforts. He's a new fighter. He really is a really improved and dangerous athlete.
We saw him in that fight. He looked absolutely incredible. His stand-up game looked vicious. In Wade Henderson, we've seen him in many fights, and I can't recall if he's ever been dominated the way he was by Jason Calderwell that night. And he will be riding high off of the confidence from that big win. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Says he's cleaned up his life, he's cleaned up his diet, he's cleaned up his lifestyle, and he is 100% ready to make a name for himself in this middleweight division.
Yeah, made the move from Richards Bay to Durban. The team up with Ryan Hassan and the gorgeous boys. And so far it's paid dividends. The Prep Zone brought to you by One Plan, affordable healthcare for more South Africans. Jason Calderwell with that one win. I mean, if you think about the guys that he's fought in his career, he's also come up against some tough competitors. The guys that have been around the blocks, the JC Lamprat, tough competitor, Liam Kellen, a streetwise fighter who knows his way around the hexagon.
Absolutely no doubt about that. I think the majority of his career is spent at light heavyweight, and the drop down to middleweight has been something that's been really good for him. And we saw for the first time really just what sort of talent is within this guy when he fought Wade Henderson. It was in March this year at EFC31. So quick turnaround for him as well in terms of the amount of time that's left. So he got straight back into the gym after his previous bout, and now he's ready tonight to go up against the guy that's certainly going to be asking questions of his ground game, no doubt about that.
The man nicknamed JMC finds himself in the hexagon for his 7th fights at EFC. On the Maxim, tail of the tape. 4 years older is Allison, also 2 kgs heavier, but it is Calderwell who enjoys a 5 centimeter reach advantage. Get your copy of Maxim magazine with fashion, tech, gaming and more. It's what guys want. Over to Shane the Duke Wellington.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is 3 rounds in the EFC middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighter with a professional record of 2 wins and 2 losses. He stands 1.82 meters tall, weighing in at 84 kilograms. Fighting out of Langenhoven, Bloemfontein, Warren Allison. And now introducing his opponent. He's fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist with 3 wins and 3 losses. He stands 1.85 meters tall, weighing in at 82 kilograms. Fighting out of North Beach, Durban, Jason JMC Culverwell. And when the action begins, our referee in charge is Ian Pinar.
The lovely Hexagon Girls, probably brought to you by Rex Diff and Gearbox, driven by perfection.
Go Warren! Warren!
30 minute uit was ek nog weer van die kamer. Maar hy lyk nou beter. Hy lig op die maag, vinnig begin verteel.
Start of this round is presented by Pitbull, the world's only FDA-approved energy drink. Calderwell in the blue, Allison in the grey. Big question for Allison now is how he approaches his comeback to EFC up against the rejuvenated Jason Calderwell.
Comes out southpaw as well, does Allison. For Calderwell to land a big 1-2. He's also moving around, he's definitely going to be wary of that takedown.
And the jiu-jitsu of Allison, we know, is top class. Something Calderwell will look to avoid. He'll be happy to stand and trade.
And Allison immediately shoots and he's got Calderwell down. Calderwell's trying to push his head back, but he's got a strong hold. This Warren Allison now is going to try and work from here. Calderwell still pushing on that head. Allison manages to pass in the meantime. He's got the side control.
Something Calderwell will have to watch out for. There's Allison's ground game. Yeah, the game plan is executed well by Allison so far.
Just took his time for set up for that takedown, timed it perfectly and got Calderwell on his back. And he must have known that it was coming, but even if you know it's coming, it's whether you can stop it or not. That's the big question. Warren Allison with a ton of time to work, 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. Warren Allison, he likes to set up with strikes from this top position and then possibly try and look for the armbar.
Right in front of his corner.
Keep it going!
Allison.
Keep him going, go for it!
You can see he's making allowing for absolutely no space between himself and Jason Calderwell.
Hit him, Warren.
He doesn't want to give Calderwell the room to continue to improve his position in the full mount. He hasn't been able to capitalize on it as yet.
Take his time there. There's Allison. It looks like
Calderwell, we know, is incredibly strong. He's once going to try and throw Allison off of him.
he caught Calderwell there on the forehead. Looks like there's a cut there above that left eye.
Yes, those glancing elbows, those are normally the ones that can open you up.
Come, Warren! Get up! Come, Warren!
2 minutes, 45 seconds, Calderwell so far. Surviving from this position, but he's desperately trying to get Allison off of him, but you can see he's got a very solid base.
Keep the points, boy.
Energy sapping stuff here for Calderwell.
Absolutely no doubt about that.
Well done, Warren. Well done, boy.
He looks to stave off this Does Allison
Work him,
attack it?
Warren. Go, Warren. Go, Warren.
Looks for some ground and pound now, does Allison? Catches Cole with an elbow.
Allison's also picking his shots. He's taking his time before he's landing.
That's it,
He's
Warren.
not
Line him
wasting
up.
any energy.
Line him up.
Really composed as Allison.
Compose, boy. That's it. Keep him there, son.
Not bothered by the big stage. He's been here before. It's Warren Allison.
Shoulder charge by shoulder back by Warren Allison. He's landing shots. You can see the referee's having a close look. Caldwell incredibly strong and he's got the bicep control. But Allison is landing shots.
Just elbows looking away. Picking away at Caldwell here is Allison.
And he can also, this is the type of stuff that Warren Allison can really use to try and set up for a submission. Just try and land the shots, get Caldwell in the compromised position where he's possibly got a limb stuck out for a second too long, and he will pounce on that.
125 remain here in round one.
So working for the on triangle.
Submission victory over the N4. Jason Caldwell.
He was waiting to try and set it up. You can see his arm behind the neck. Time to very quickly try to set it up. Jump to the side. Textbook arm triangle.
The game plan that was executed was done perfectly by Allison.
There was absolutely no doubt about what he wanted to do when he came out, Jen. Just the timing of that takedown managed to get him to the ground, and it really just worked from there. He was never in any trouble. He was never going to be in a position where he got swept. Very, very well done.
GNC, the official sports nutrition partner of EFC, presents this action replay, and this is where it went wrong for Caldwell and so right for Allison.
That was on tight. As soon as Allison jumped to his side, not really much that he could do. Right defenses there, sort of almost like answering the telephone with your right arm, but that was in too deep for Caldwell to actually do that, create that space so he could actually get blood through to his brain. Great submission victory for Warren Allison.
Warren Allison gets the W.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Ian Pinar has called a stop to this contest 3 minutes and 46 seconds into round number 1, declaring the winner by tap out due to an arm triangle, Warren Allison.
Yeah, with you winner Warren Allison. Warren, it's been a while since you've been in the EFC Hexagon, but someplace you've certainly improved on. It's been your jiu-jitsu game.
Yeah, I did, you know. I wouldn't say just my jiu-jitsu. Came here a little bit tense, first time back in the Hex in a long time. But yeah, I'm keen to get climbing from here.
Well, you looked incredible tonight. I mean, that takedown was timed perfectly, and from that top position, you were never in trouble to get swept. And that arm triangle on very, very tight, textbook stuff. You must be very happy.
Yeah, I'm glad coming back with a victory. I'm coming to climb that ladder.
Well, we look forward to seeing you again. Congratulations on a great performance tonight. Your winner, ladies and gentlemen, Warren Allison.
After 3.5 years, Warren Allison is back at EFC and he's back with a victory.
Where are you from? Now in Urban, buddy.